Can I get a 16?
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 Can I get a 16, please?
Juggernaut. Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up. Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up.
Baby, sit back and watch. You dealing with a juggernaut. I started from the bottom, stack my way to the top. Step into my world, it goes down like the ball drop. Shop so much, get escorted by the mall cops. Thieves, they can all plot. Hit them with the death rate, and their tomorrows. Turn them into yesterday. I'm balling with the best play. Fans watch me closely. Niggas who don't know me, that's who I'm supposed to be. A goon, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, I'm a heathen. I'm the last one breathing, ducking, bobbing, and weaving. If we both chasing dollars, I'm greedy. No, I'm cheating, aiming for the same goal. I'll bang you, leave you bleeding, get the gushy, then I'm leaving. Silence, make them wanna go diggers. Holler at me, I give them the wrong number. I'm booty, and that's exactly who niggas can never be. Surveillance can't even track me, I move too cleverly. I'm the juggernaut.
Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up. Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up.
Stepped out the crib, red carpet everywhere I walk. Pimps read the book I wrote, imitate my slick talk. Jewelry look like Silverhawk, swag like a rich man. 10 steps ahead of y'all, drawing board, switch plan. Sleep like eyes open, laser tag, gun in hand. Old school cabaret dancing, doing the running man. What you know about that? What you know about this? In the party's mad guests, written out roof Chris. Tough guys, we in store, let a nigga come up short. Take away their privileges, they ain't allowed off the porch. Cowards wanna act rough, hit them with the blowtorch. Lay the whole block down, jump out like the task force. Spit flames, high scorch, 5 lawyers going to court. Beat the charge, feeling hard, champagne, pop the court. Golf course, barbecue and loud music, alcohol. White folks look stunned, niggas like fuck y'all, we juggernaut.
Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up. Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up.
No doubt, I stand firm when it's time to get down. Form a team of hustlers, then we lockin' shit down. Thinking sweet, say my words are just innocent rapping. Test the kid and I'ma leave you where the incident happened. Stop acting like a punk, who's scared? You scared, you a little too scared. That's why we left you there. We getting paper over here, tell me what's your excuse. Said you used to be the man, show me where's your proof. Duck goose like a bullet, I'ma hit him with truth. And yo, a steady cash flow is like the fountain of youth. It give an old man swag in the lane do bounce. Ugly dude attract women more than he can count. Paper turn a bum nigga to a nigga that spit, and even help a lonely man buy a whole lot of friends. Your outcome, it depends, you a hustler or not. A small thing to a giant, show them they can't stop. The Juggernaut.
Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up. Go hard, get money. I'm on top. Call me up. Shake it for me. Get busy. I'm on top. Call me up.
Know what I'm saying? Juggernaut. Small things to a giant.
One time. Run it back. I need a beat. Let me see if I got a beat, J-Pad, because you know I can't do it. If I ain't got no beat, because the beat man, 10,000 beat man is here. I ain't trying to play one, he'll be like, turn that shit off, K.Bey. It ain't right. Let's turn it off. We're going to try to give him a good one. So we are live right here at Grand City. And you put the beat on. I'm lucky.
Where the beat at?
I do 9,000 things at one time on this show.
Give us the beats.
Give us the beat. Like, there we go.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Do the what? Do the what? Do the what? Do the J-Pad. What's good? What y'all know about this? What y'all know about that? It's J-Pad and K.Bey on the back. And y'all know we is back. Coming back for the flame. Y'all know how we do it from back in the day when I was the jitney man. With the beatbox. Classic, man. Classic. What's up, J-Pad?
What up, though? What's
Oh,
good with you?
man. Oh, man. I'm so happy that you're here, bro. I'm so happy. Listen, people don't know about this man right here. We're going to get into it. But this dude right here, he is a legend, a humble legend. That's the beautiful part about it. He's a humble legend. Engineer, beat maker extraordinary. He does a little video. He does every freaking thing that has to do with music. He plays. He's a musician. Like, he knows the ins and outs of music. So I'm not going to say it no more. You tell him who you is and what you do.
All right. What up, though? J-Pad, the Juggernaut, Custom Beat King. You already know the 10,000 beat man. You know what I'm saying? I definitely do all the things the button pusher said. I am a producer. I am an artist. I'm an engineer. I'm a DJ. I'm a videographer, video editor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty much, you name it, anything multimedia besides graphics, I've pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not scared to try. So,
Hey,
you know, it is what
so
it is.
let's talk about it. First of all, J-Pad.
Yeah.
How in the hell did you get that name, J-Pad the Juggernaut?
Well, J-Pad is really interesting. That started in high school, man. Like I was a kid that was a big hip hop head. Like, you know, I have a big hip hop history. I was like starting at 10 years old. I was like beatboxing. You know, like when everybody else was breakdancing, I was a beatbox because I was too chunky to. Yeah, I was too chunky to break.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
My neck.
Yeah. I
My
tried to
back.
get down on the cardboard one time, and everybody's like, "Yeah, you need to stand up."
Yeah, don't do that, bro.
Yeah, just stay standing. So I got a boom box and I had a microphone and I just started beating. But I had already been playing the trombone
Right.
by the time I was 10. And so I beatboxed, and then, you know, we used to wear a lot of different types of hip hop gear back then.
Right.
This was the early 80s. For those who don't know, I'm dating myself.
Top face.
Yeah, it was before the high top. No, it was before the high top.
Before the high tops.
Yes, it was way before the high top. The taper was around. Okay?
Come on, man.
Taper.
The taper. Was you funky fly fresh?
Man, I had the raccoon tail. I had
Stop.
all that. Yeah, you already know. But make a long story short, you know, we used to. It was about when I got into high school. And, you know, it was that hip-hop era then, you know what I'm saying, that I switched up my little flavor a little bit. And my favorite group was EPMD.
Yes.
And I was really big on a lot of hip-hop, period, back then. I mean, I was basically along since the very inception of it, but make a long story short, EPMD was those guys. It was like how Kobe was, those guys when we first came in the league. Like, EPMD was them cats, the new cats on the scene. They was young like us. You know what I'm saying? We identified with their swag.
They were hip.
They were very, very hip, and their style of dress was hip.
Yes.
Because they were extremely coordinated.
Yes.
And one thing that really made them stand out was the fisherman hat.
Yeah.
So me and my boy Larry, you know what I'm saying? If Larry's watching, what's going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? But you know, he's like a childhood friend of mine, you know what I'm saying? And we would go to school together. You know, he was one of the only friends that I had a car. So Larry and me would go to the house.
Cars, man.
Yeah, I love cars, man.
I had a car, man.
I was a car kid, you know what I'm saying? Herbie. What's up, Herbie?
Herbie.
You already know. But make a long story short, you know, he took me to the hat store one day, and we was just like, you know what? Everybody's on the Kangos, but we're gonna switch it up and we're gonna do the fisherman hat.
Yeah.
So we went and bought, and the fisherman hats was mad cheap. Like,
Yes.
the Kangos was expensive, but the fisherman hat was dumb cheap.
Yeah, they were like
So we-
$3.99.
So we would find every pair. We would find every pair of the fisherman hat in the store, and it was like $2. You know what I'm saying? It was like $2. We would take $10 every week, and we would go buy 5 new fisherman hats. So every outfit that we had a fisherman hat. But see, what I would do to do it a little bit different is I would flip it up in the front. And so when I would flip it up in the front, I was a little chunky little kid, you know what I'm saying? Everybody would say, hey, you know what? You look just like Paddington Bear. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So basically, Paddington Bear, over the course of time, got shortened into Pad.
J-Pad.
So J-Pad, because people thought Pad was because I, you know,
that's what I
make
thought.
beats and stuff like that. But nah, it wasn't no shit like that. It was me.
The Paddington Bear.
It was me looking like this
you
little
learn
ass
shit
bear.
on GoLiveTvHour. You learn
It's
shit
looking
here,
like this
people.
little ass bear that had the rain hat on and the rain shoes and the rain jacket.
Stop it.
And the girls all in school used to think I had chubby cheeks like Arnold from Different Strokes, right? So it was a combination of whether I was Arnold or if I was Paddington Bear. So Paddington stuck with me. And then everybody thought that was my last name because they didn't realize that wasn't my last name until I told them that it wasn't my last name. It's like, my last name is something totally different. It begins with an M. It doesn't even begin with a P. But everybody thought my name was Paddington.
You know what's crazy, though?
So
your name is a dope music name. Like J Minor's a dope music name too.
Like B minor.
Like really, like your
Digger.
whole swag is dope when it comes down to music.
Thank you.
When did you discover that? Okay, you said about 10 you got into hip hop, but when did you discover that music was that thing?
You know what though? Be honest, it probably was even before then. By the time I was in the 3rd or the 4th grade, I started learning playing instruments. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I got into it, but even before then, you know, I got to credit my mom and my dad because they were the musicologists of the family, even though they weren't really musical.
Wait a minute. The musicologists, people. Understand?
Yeah.
He had musicologists.
Yes.
Stop playing. All right. Continue on. I just had to bring that up.
Yes. My parents had a very eclectic taste of music.
Yes.
I didn't just listen to the funk when I was growing up. You know, I was a 70s kid. So, you know, I didn't listen to just the funk when I was growing up. I listened to, you know, jazz. I listened to Cuban Afro jazz. I listened to, you know, traditional stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like big band. I listened to, you know, everything that you could possibly think of that you wouldn't have listened to
when you were a kid.
Growing up traditionally in a black family household. You know what I mean? Now, my dad had that covered, you know what I'm saying? Because he's from the South. You know what I mean? So, you know, I got the James Brown, I got the LTD, I got the, you know, the Isaac Hayes and the Barry White and all that stuff from my dad. And then from my mom, she was more unique. You know what I'm saying? She would give me the Getz and Gilberto. You know what I'm saying? I would get the Fabulous Dorseys. I would be listening to the Rocky soundtrack or something that was a little different, the Bee Gees or something like that. You know what I mean? Or
got the Bee Gees. If we came home and the Bee Gees was playing, we was getting beaten.
No, Lord, no.
My mom had certain music for certain situations, right? The Bee Gees or Earth, Wind and Fire. Earth, Wind and Fire, it was over. Like, don't even come in her crib. The teacher called. You was getting that ass lit up, period. She's gonna whoop your ass. Now, she's playing like Barry or Donny Hathaway.
I feel
she
you
was
pain.
cool. She was
Yeah, I
cleaning.
feel
We
you.
had incense.
For us, it was.
We might have got dinner.
Nah, for us it was Dolomite and Richard Pryor.
Oh.
If any one of them records came on, man, we got the switch. Like
Yeah, it's
we got
going
the
down.
cherry tree switch.
going
Yes.
down.
Yes, my grandma had a little cherry tree in the backyard. And I would get we would have to go pick the the switch.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? We'd have to go pick it. So
yeah.
be glad y'all kids don't get whooped right now.
Yeah.
Because
They don't
we used
even
to get welts.
understand.
Get
We
welt
got
whoopings.
whoopings.
Welt
Like,
whoopings.
They was unforgiving. So,
Yes.
so your parents had the influence on your music, but who were the particular artists that you would say now have a deep influence on the styles that you make?
Oh yeah, without question, Quincy Jones. You know, like I grew up listening to a lot of Quincy, like a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, a lot of Barry White. A lot of people don't realize how gifted of a composer he
Shoo!
was.
He
You
would
know,
come
and-
in, his joints would start with an orchestra for like 7.5 minutes.
Well, yeah, and you think about it.
Man,
Yeah,
serious.
Barry White was one of the first
Serious.
instrumental albums.
Yes.
Like I would go get a lot of his records just because there was no words on them.
Right.
And I would just love to listen to the
You
music.
weren't influenced by what he said. You were influenced by
Isaac,
what you felt
him,
when you
Isaac
listened to
Hayes.
Yeah.
I can go down the road, man. You know, like Al Green was a big influence, and then the others that I said, you know, like even Jose Feliciano. You know, those were big influences on my life. Rick James.
So who's in J-Pad Trump right now?
Who's in J-Pad?
Who in the tape deck? Well, you know, what do y'all do now? CDs
You know
or
what?
no MP3s or something? Your
On my
phone.
phone? My phone.
Your
Yeah,
phone.
yeah. What's in
I'm
my
getting
phone
there.
right
I'm
now?
getting there. Your phone.
You know what, man? You know, it's funny, but I like Bruno Mars. You know,
Oh,
I like,
hey, him
know,
and Pharrell?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pharrell.
Ooh.
Yes, me.
Me.
I like, believe it or not, I like Post Malone.
Mm.
I like Post Malone. I like some of his stuff. It's different. You know what I'm saying? I like the Cali kids. You know, whatever is going on out in California, I like that stuff. I like different stuff, period. But, you know, like people like V, she's been turning me on to like grime and things of that nature. So I've been checking out grime. I've been checking out a lot of different stuff from around the world, you know, for real. But what's in my deck primarily is the stuff that we've been doing at the lab. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we've been working on at the Bird House,
J-Pad is in J-Pad's deck.
It's in J-Pad's deck, yes, because this is like a rebirth, a renaissance, kind of like of all the things, including me being an artist. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm in my own deck. Yeah.
Let's listen to some of this J-Pad. We got this song here called Champions.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Oh, Champions, yeah, it's off a project that's coming out real soon. It's called One Man Band, and what One Man Band was meant to be was meant to be an ode to HCBUs. You know what I'm saying? Or HBCU. I'm sorry, historically black colleges and universities.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? If you've never seen a marching band
Woo.
halftime show,
Woo.
a real one, like just
real
be
one.
in the stadium while it's going
Yes.
down. It's surreal. It's like almost like the highlight of the game. Don't get me wrong.
People come
watch
to the game to see the band.
to see the band.
To see the band.
And so this
Yes.
this was a project that I decided to pay homage to the band and say, you know what? My moniker will be the One Man Band, so it'd be a little bit different. You know what I mean?
We got that song too.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much a self-contained guy. People know that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of like introduce people into like what the halftime show really was like at those HBCUs. So that's what the whole entire project sounds like. And Champions is one of the songs off
Let's
the
get
off the
into it,
joint.
yo. This is Champions, J-Pad, the Juggernaut. We'll be right back. Go Live TV Hour. Let's go.
Like bitch. Yeah. Little nigga, I could fuck your bitch if I wanted to. Hit her once, then I pass her ass all around the crew. Fuck you thought, fuck the rules. We do what we wanna do. You out here chasing hoes and we chasing money, dude. I could fuck your bitch if I wanted to. Hit her once, then I pass her around the crew. Fuck you thought, we do what we wanna do. You out here chasing hoes, we chasing money, dude. Don't gotta like me, but you gon' respect me. Doing what I want so somebody check me. If you gon' come, then come correctly. Cause it don't mean nothing if it ain't directly. Nigga, please, ain't nobody checking me. I hang with OGs that I let that trigger squeeze. Nigga, please, ain't nobody checking me. I say it with my Q's and P's, so you'll never catch me slippery. They plugging me in auxiliary. I'm all up in they search history. Talking, but it don't mean shit to me. Them niggas broke like an injury. Pay them no mind, don't give them no energy. Leave them behind, just like a memory. I'm getting high, tree from the dispensary. Smoking on hickory, they on my dickory. Hit them like Quagmire, giggity. No cocky shit, I'm hotter than HE double hockey sticks. That's why they try to top my shit, but cannot fuck with the kid. Xerox the way that they copying. Hey, pull up in that thing with the top missing. Trunk on the front, on the opposite end. Gripping on grain, I'll spin on your bent. I got the 9 behind them tits, so saying you lame before you get split. How you the best and you ain't drop shit? How you the best but ain't made a hit? You ain't the best, need to call it a quit. You niggas ain't real for hyping your head. You ain't the best, need to call it a quit. You niggas ain't real for hyping your head. No, nigga. Your bitch if I wanted to. Hit her once, then I pass her ass all around the crew. Fuck you thought, fuck the rules. We do what we wanna do. You out here chasing hoes and we chasing money, dude. Hey, shout out to No Label. Shout out KKMNP, nigga.
Go live TV. Oh, we back with your man, Jay Puzzle.
What
in the
up?
building. What's cracking, bro? Him?
What's going
now,
on?
you produced that track we just played.
Yeah.
LA Shay, shout out. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. I see you, Mike, here. Whoever else is watching. Shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Everybody watching on GoLiveTvHour and GrindCity.biz.
Shout out
We
to everybody out
appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Periscope. Y'all get that la 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 la. So I got some little stuff.
Hey.
Anywho,
Whoa.
you don't get that bounce around, J-Pad. So let's talk about it. We spoke a little bit about you being involved in music and hearing music and music being this influence on you to make you want to make music. But let's talk about what instruments that you actually play now.
Now I've expanded myself. I've been trying to open up the palette for a minute now, and I finally found some things that I really found interesting. Like I invested in a slide guitar. And for those who don't know what a slide guitar is, it's actually made out of a cigar box. It's almost like an old traditional kind of like guitar. It's a cigar box guitar. And so I've been teaching myself how to play slide. I've been teaching ukulele, teaching myself a little ukulele. I've been really sharpening up on my keyboard playing skills. You know what? I've really been adamant on trying other things like recorders and maybe trying some woodwind. Trying a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I've been really getting into keys and mainly guitar, and that's really kind of like the new additions. But I also play the trombone, so everybody knows, you know.
So how important do you think it is? You know what I mean? I'm a synthetic music maker. I used to play instruments in yonder years when my hair was not in existence and I had a jerry curl. So, y'all seen the picture?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Don't you say nothing, Jay.
Yeah.
I know you got muscle, but I still hit you.
You know what?
But how important do you think it is for, especially for these young people that are coming up and they have all of these trinkets available for them to make music? How important do you think it is for them to learn at least one instrument?
You know what? It really will teach you a lot more about the structure of music and how important these instruments that we hear coming through the speakers are. You know, like to be able to connect totally to music is to be able to pick up that instrument and be able to play it and connect and flow along with people in the band or just by yourself practicing, and it gives you a better appreciation, because that's another thing that has been lost, you know, is the appreciation for music itself. You know what I mean? And what better way to appreciate it than to learn an instrument? You know, whether it be something simple like a recorder or something simple like you know picking up a small piano and just learning some keys and learning
how to read music, because once you learn how to read music, bass, treble, and treble clef, you know how to read music.
Right.
It's only two: bass clef, treble clef. That's it. If you know how to read one or the other or both, then you can read music on any level for any instrument. It's just learning the instrument itself.
And learning the instrument, learning time signature. You know, learning how these things actually correlate with each other. You know what I mean? Because we can almost relate it to mathematics, simple mathematics.
It is.
To be brutally honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Because everything, people have to know the difference between minutes and seconds and musical count.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Count is the same thing, but it's a little different when it's musical because it's done with a rhythm. You know what I mean? So, you know, learning an instrument will teach you that, and I think it's important.
I tried to learn an instrument, and then I forgot it. I forgot what they.
But you know what though? I really will say this though. I look at the MPC and I look at
I love the MPC.
other devices like they are instruments. So I do appreciate
and your voice as well.
And the voice is an instrument too. You know, it's funny because I will tell artists all the time. I'll be like, you know what? You got to find a microphone that really works for you.
Yes.
That works for your voice.
Yes.
Because it is your instrument. It is. Your voice is the instrument, and the microphone helps you traject your instrument.
So let's talk about. Speaking of the microphones and instruments and voices, let's talk about the mobile studio. The mobile studio goes way back, people. First of all, I thought that was the most unique idea because everybody can't get to a studio, and to have the patience to want to go to someone. I used to take them.
Yes.
I was that jitney. Yes, the mobile studio when you first got
going
started.
Through the Liberty Tunnel and going wherever.
Yes, because I felt like I really, honestly did believe in what you were doing.
Appreciate that.
And I was like, man, if this dude is out here trying to get this paper for one and help people make music, because I had a little studio in my basement and I would bring people in my basement and try to get them to make whatever, something.
Right. I remember the basement.
Yeah, quite a few of them.
Yeah, it was innovative at that time. Even at Button Pusher, I'll stop it right now because Button Pusher had a studio in the basement that was ahead of its time, if you ask me, because she took the time out to actually build the room where the studio was, where the booth was, and everything. So. And
then I moved and tore that mug down and took the booth with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the third move, though, I had to let it go. But now I got another booth. But I felt that at the time what you were doing was revolutionary for artists who just couldn't get to where they needed to go to get their voice out.
It's funny because I had to sit back and I had to think one time how I started the mobile studio. I was like, you know what? I got this unique idea, but how can I connect to everybody and let them know that there's some quality service available? You know, and I said, you know what better way to do it but than to show up at the comforts of somebody's house. Yeah, show them at their house. You know, show up at their house. They'll be in the comforts of their own home. We can find the smallest room, and then we can acoustically try to treat it to make it, you know, sound good enough to do a session.
How do you do that? I mean, because, you know, I hear
that's a great question.
I do that sometimes. With my booth, I'm still trying to get it right. You know what I'm saying? And it's stable. So how do you effectively go and take the studio to someone's home that has no treatment for being recording and make that sound that you bring to people's music?
You know what? It was a challenge, and it was like almost like, you know, I tend to say this a lot. I tend to say we're very, very intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of innovativeness within ourselves, and we learn how to adjust and be chameleons in these situations. And that's what it taught me how to be. It taught me how to adapt and learn how to record at home in different environments and actually show people what they could do in their own home to record. You know what I'm saying? And so really it taught me a lot about leveling and things of that nature. So if I knew I was in a bigger room what I would end up doing is I would turn the gain of the microphone back to almost like a quiet whisper. So when people would record, we wouldn't have no air dancing around them. You know what I mean? It would still have a nice quiet sound, and then I would be able to bring that back out and normalize it, and it would sound like we were in a quiet booth.
Let me ask you this, because someone always told me it's better to record with your volume lower and you can always raise it than it being too loud and bring it down. Is that the truth?
That is absolutely.
Because I'm still learning.
That's absolutely the truth, and the reason why is most importantly is what they call ear fatigue. Ear fatigue is something that can happen rather rapidly or can happen slowly. It just depends on how loud the music is playing for your ear. Now, I tend to have the volume back at a decent small level. And the reason why is because it preserves my ear throughout the day for the quality of the mixes that I'm able to do. And one trick that I learned from a guy back home up in Erie, shout out to all the people up in the 814 if y'all watching, you know what I mean?
Not to cut you off, but I'm making a documentary. Remember that time I came up to Erie and you
Yes.
was like, that shit's in the documentary.
Oh my
That's pretty good.
goodness,
This is in there.
wow.
We were just like motherfucking each other the whole time, like just talking all this cash shit. Anywho, but
You
go
know,
ahead, my bad.
it
That's
is
funny
what it
that you
is.
said that. Real shit.
You know what it is. And so, the one guy told me, he said, you know what, hey, he said, your mixes sound great. He said, but what if you turn the speakers down just a little bit when you're mixing, it's gonna sound a lot better, because if you can hear everything when it's turned down low, imagine what it sounds like when you turn it up. So once I learned that philosophy and I was able to listen to what people were telling me, and I think that's the most critical thing about this also is being a professional with this is also being a good listener. And that's what's gotten me so far down the road. That's how I've been able to sustain this for so long, is because I can actually now listen to what people want, and I can utilize the technology to make it happen and make it come to that.
How long have you been into recording people and mixing
Oh
them?
man, wow.
How many years you got under your belt, sir?
27.
I thought I was doing it for a long time.
Yeah, it's about 27 years.
It's a long time,
I
bro.
counted it all up this year, and I said, "Yep, this is 27 years.
Legend.
It's a long time." With the beats, it's even longer than that. But
Yeah. How old is you? 59? J.Bey, the old guy.
I'm creeping up on.
You, bro?
I'm creeping up on the 50. Yeah, I'm creeping up on the 50.
With it, man.
Creeping
Me
on
too.
the come up.
Don't tell nobody, bro.
Yeah, I'm creeping on the come
We'll
up
keep
of the
that
50.
solid.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into this one-man band joint
Okay.
that you made. Tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, One Man Band is part of the project. It's actually the title song to the project. It's the first thing that you're gonna hear when you hear this thing. It's got like 6 or 7 songs. It's almost like a halftime show. It sounds just like a halftime show. Like everything has like the beats that I constructed for this One Man Band project actually have marching band sounds in them. They have real drumline sounds. They have the real, toms. They have the real, tries. They have everything that you can hear in a real marching band. The horns, everything, you know what I mean? So, and then we mixed it up a little bit. We trapped it out a little bit and made it kind of like what it is. So it's like a halftime show when you listen to it. It lasts about maybe 10 minutes? 10 minutes of your time. That's gonna be
One man band.
One Man Band.
Let's get it, J-Pat, y'all. GoLiveTV, I will be right back.
Juggernaut.
I'm the one-man band, one-man band. 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 Now the band gon' play, yeah, now the band gon' play. Now the band gon' play, now the band gon' play. We be steady rockin' to the bass now. Welcome to the show, it now has begun. Got a new flavor, get your groove on. Tell all your neighbors this is your song. Move left, move right, do that little dance, y'all. Juggernaut is run things and I can't even stop now. Baby, shake it for me on the 50-yard line. Drop it lower than before, work your dance spine. Move left, move right, move left and up, down. Say move left, move right, move left and up, down. Say move left, move right, move left and up, down. Say move left, move right, move left and up, down. I'm the one-man band, one-man band. I'm the one-man band, one-man band. I'm the one-man band, one-man band. I'm the one-man band,
cheating what they say. I put the pen on my face. I put a bully on his back. I am not winning the race. That won't not be burning up the track. Premium gas like the Cadillac. You want the Pittsburgh Cadillac? Pull in your car, you got saddlebags. We winning, so give bags. You losing, so you get no money back. The quarter hands out to the running back. Up the middle, we running the sauce with that. You get the hit stick. You get the charge stick. Moving too slow, I come from below. Double minute turn quick. Juggernaut come with the dumb spit. We do not fuck with a dumb skit. Prepare yourself for the dumb hit. Prepare yourself for the dumb hit. You get the hell out the way. Hey, 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 we ain't got nothing to say. Hey, you ain't got nothing to say. Hey, you want no busting no face. Hey, you better say your face. You get the hell out the way. Hey, 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 you get the hell out the way. Hey, 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 you get the hell out the way. 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 Hey. Yeah, them drums crazy.
That's nasty, bro. Let's get the hell out of the way. Please get the hell out of the way. So let's talk about you're working with a lot of people.
Yes.
Throw us a couple names of the kind of artists that you really like to work with and who you're working with now.
Oh man, okay. As far as the kind of artists that I like to work with, I just put it out there right now. I like to work with artists that really have a unique palette. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the artists that are in my immediate rotation or the closest rotation, they got unique skill sets. You know what I mean? Like they can do a lot of great things. You know what I'm saying? As far as music is concerned, whether it's an instrument played or if it's just their level of talent is just exceptional. But you know, I got to give a shout out to Hawk Jr. I got to give a shout out to Guapo Bees. I got to give a shout out to Mavi. I got to give a shout out to Ross
Mavi's
Maisha.
over there. We gonna put the camera on her. She's over there.
Yes, Mavi.
Hold on, let me show Mavi. Wait a minute.
There she go.
Don't turn your head.
Say what's up, Bobby, to that camera right there.
What's going
Bobby,
on?
in the building. Look
She's
at Eric.
over in the
Eric
corner,
is trying to
yes.
hide. I'm not here. I'm not here. You're here, Eric.
Yes.
Word. So,
Ross Maisha. You know, shout out to Ross Maisha doing the reggae and whatnot. I got some young talent that I've been working with. Callie G, LHA.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Loke. There's a lot of young talent that I've been working with also as well in the younger generations and in the mid-level generations. You know, shout out to Tom. Shout out to all the producers out here, by the way. Yeah. You know, every last one of y'all.
Do
that
you
do
work
your
with
thing.
other producers?
Yeah, absolutely, I have. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I think that this year my campaign was salute the producer because what I did was on Tomlin's birthday, we ended up getting him a turntable set.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And we started him off with his with his little DJing thing, and now he's got a couple of nights at the club. So which is nice. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you give back. You know what I'm saying? This is how we reward our people. You know what I'm saying? So and then Stevie B, you know, which is Stevie B has been very instrumental in a lot of things around here.
He's grown
a lot. And he's matured a lot, and he's just a great kid.
Killing it, man.
Just a great kid, and so for his little accomplishments, we got him a keyboard. You know, bought him a little production keyboard for his little.
Can we be friends? What the hell? Shit! You're giving out keyboards and turntables and shit.
Yeah, because it's time to reward folks for what it is that they do around here, and I don't think people get it enough. And I didn't really do that to put no light on myself, really. I did that for those folks to make sure that they were rewarded and handsomely rewarded for what it is that they do. You know, to show people that, you know, hey, you know what, we appreciate you for what you do. You know, and I think it's in order for culture to change, you know what I'm saying, and we were talking about this earlier today, but in order for the culture to change, it's got to start with us, right? So I figured it start with me, you know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? This is a way to change culture, and I feel like Pittsburgh could use a little bit of a culture change. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's time for a rebirth of a lot of things, you know what I mean? So, and we here just like how I was with the ripple effect, just like I was, you know, with the things in the past, you know what I'm saying? And it all comes full circle. So, yeah, rewarding our people is, you know, is important, you know what I'm saying? So, big ups to them. Big ups to the producers. Big ups to the DJs. Big ups to everybody that's really doing their thing and really wants to see things work on a positive level. You know what I'm saying? And I know that every scene has the good and it has the bad. You know what I mean? But if we express more good, we're going to stay around.
What's the most powerful aspect of this Pittsburgh hip hop scene that you've encountered in the last few years?
The talent is the most powerful thing that I've seen in this market. I'm not going to necessarily say it's the business side of it, but definitely the talent. I mean, as far as the talent is concerned, Pennsylvania itself got probably some of the most talented musicians, the most talented artists, the most talented people in entertainment, like, period. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think this scene, what do you think those talented artists are lacking? What do you think is keeping this scene from really going forward?
Quite clearly, and as a whole, infrastructure. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, of course, it's well documented that I have ties to Atlanta as well now, and things that I've done down there, like going to beat battle and things of that nature. But one thing I learned when I was down there was Atlanta has infrastructure. Atlanta knows how to teach their young and teach their old and their young how to stay thriving and surviving in the business, and they look out for each other. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like they'll look out for each other. You know what I mean? They will look out for each other. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's like they have a better relationship and understanding. The DJs understand the producers. And they understand the artists, and the A&Rs understand the whole gamut, and they all make sure that everybody eats at the end of the day. And I think that's how that infrastructure
is missing here too. As far as that, we don't have enough 100% dedicated A&Rs up here.
Yes.
People who just do that, develop the artists and connect them with the medias that are available for independent artists.
Right.
So it leaves
we need people that are dedicated
to
like that.
To that. Like if I'm dedicated to media and you're dedicated to producing, we need A&Rs, not just labels, but A&Rs, people that go out and say, hey, this is what I do for talent, and these are the people that you want to go through to push that talent.
And it's also important too, and I should say this, that we develop a working relationship.
Yes.
So people are working, like like we have working artists, we have working, producers, we have working, entertainment lawyers, we have working, we may not have the lawyers here, but you understand what I mean. Everybody's working, and I think that the compensation is important. You know what I mean? Like, everybody needs to be compensated, and that's one thing I noticed. Like, I have artists in Atlanta, prime example, and those artists, you might not even know who those artists are, but shout out to S.P, A-Town Mike, Black the Dealer. And one thing that I've seen with them is they've developed a relationship with the clubs and the scene there, and now it's to the point where when they show up, they command a check. You know what I mean? Where it's like
they command a check.
They command a check.
Not demand a check. Command a check. That's two different heavies, people.
It's way different.
That's two different heavies, people. Exactly. You can't come out and be like, I need to get paid from the gate. You gotta earn that. You gotta command that, bro.
You earn it. But once you earn it, and the people recognize it, is what begins to happen is that they actually gain this check. And the check itself is a testimony to how the infrastructure works in a city like Atlanta. So I want to try to infrastructure that type of situation here to where our people, we develop the right kind of tiers and say, all right, these artists do deserve to be paid. These artists are still working. You know what I'm saying? These artists are here, and they need some compensation of some sort as well. You know what I mean? And that will develop the infrastructure that we need for this place to be a thriving.
We're gonna have a whole nother interview to get into, like, seriously, because I love what you're saying. I think it's an absolute necessity.
Yes.
I think it's an absolute truth, and it's like, how do we get to a point where we can take some of these egos and get them out of the way and say, what you're saying, I've been saying for 20 years.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And for one
Unfortunately, we have to destroy and rebuild.
And trust me, I understand that. We were talking about that earlier. And I felt like with that process, let me begin with self.
Right.
So the first thing I did was beat down what I thought was too heavy.
That's right.
And got rid of it and put it over there, no matter how much I loved it and no matter how much it meant to me personally. Business-wise, it was not productive anymore.
Exactly.
So once you realize that something is more destructive than it is productive, then you have to get rid of it and put it over there because it's just concrete on your feet.
Destructive hangs around you
it lingers
when it sits in the front of your mind.
Yeah.
whatever is sitting in the front of your mind is hanging around you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to reverse that. You have to think about things that are not destructive.
Change the
Think
trend
of
and
things
watch
that are
growth start
constructive.
again. Hey.
And then those things will start to exist around your life a lot
Yes.
more. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
I think that's how this music goes. How the music goes is how what's sitting in the front of our mind. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that right, fix that, and then everything else will be straightened out. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm here.
Hey.
When we get to fixing. When we get to fixing, I'm here. Let's talk about it before we play Wrecking Ball.
Okay.
You got the album coming out. First of
Got an
all,
album coming out.
we get it. It's the marching band attitudinal type. I can do this shiznittle here.
Yes.
But there's something unique about this album.
It's very unique. What's unique about it is it's totally clean.
Yes.
It has no cuss words on it. No cuss words. I decided to do something that was fun and responsible at the same time, because you're not going to hear cuss words at the game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're not going to hear, the announcer's not going to say, "We're slick as fuck." No, they're not going to say that. You know
I
what I'm
hope he
saying?
doesn't, because
Yeah, we're slick and we're quick and
Yes.
we're this and we're that. You know, so they're gonna do this, that, and the third. And it was really dope when I watched those things, and I took that experience in, and I just wanted to show people that, and I knew it would be something that would be unique.
Mm-hmm.
It would be something to bring some fun back into this music. You know what I'm saying? People
Shoot,
can
that
have
was like
fun
back
again.
in the day. Heavy D don't make the song "Don't Curse."
Yeah, don't
You know,
curse.
Don't curse. You know
Don't
what I'm
curse,
saying?
but it'll be fun for everybody to listen to and gravitate to.
And kids can hear it.
Kids can listen to it. You know, I can have a crowd of kids to old folks doing this thing, because that's how it goes down. That's how it goes down when you watch these games. When you go to the black college games, the kids,
All ages.
the culture gets involved with you early.
Yes.
You will start when you're 5.
Yes.
You got that shirt on, and you
Yes.
doing the dance. You doing the dance.
know the
that
steps,
cheerleaders
everything.
do. Yes, the marching band. You doing it right along with them and everything.
I
And the
think that's
crowd's doing
another
it.
thing that's
It's
missing.
wonderful. It's awesome experience.
Up in
You should go see
Pittsburgh.
it.
Like, we don't have a black college up here.
No, we don't.
And that experience, just that experience right there, changes what you expect from the world when you're
boy.
out there. Because if we have to go away to find that experience, and a lot of us just don't see us going away.
Right.
They don't see past Pittsburgh.
No.
So they don't think they can get there.
Absolutely.
And so we have to go, somebody like you as the messenger, and go down, it's there. You got to convince them that it's there. But if we
there.
had that culture with a black marching band, because I marched in high school, and you know,
It's funny. That's
it
another
was
reason
like
why I did
we
it.
dope it.
Yeah, that's another reason why I did this.
To bring that- yeah.
To be for those people that never got a chance to experience what that sound is like. I
It's-
did one
it's
man band
amazing.
exactly for that.
It's amazing. Like, you know, just being with music, and you got you know, everybody know, you know, our marching band was dope. But the one that stands out in Pittsburgh is Westinghouse.
Westinghouse
and the
did
reason
have a
why
marching band,
Westinghouse Marching Band always stand out and will continue to stand out. For one, they're what's the guy? You know what I'm talking about?
The drum major.
Drum major, him. The drum major's always dope, but they got that.
Oh, the swag. That swag.
It's not. They had that. So everybody that got any kind of soul in them, you either bite your Westinghouse, because you know I was Chili, so.
They
and
was real.
I was
They was
Chili,
real with it.
and my brother was the dog mascot at Westinghouse, so it went down. Do you hear me? It went down. Man, like we go home like. But they had, so I had to be a dope drummer.
Yeah.
I had to be.
You had to
Because
go in.
I had to go in, because not only am I
had to
going
go
against
in.
this drum line, I'm going against my brother, and he was the wacky dog. Like, he hit Santa Claus type dog. Like, he was crazy.
Oh, yeah, he was real with it.
He was 100.
He was real with it.
So, but we need that. And I think that if we don't have that, we don't have the school, then this is what these
And
things
see,
are for.
like
Trying
she
to
said,
create
like
that.
you used to march, and
Yeah.
I used to march,
So
you know,
we
and
know.
it was like, you know, just to bring that experience to people.
It gets me
was just-
psyched now. Like,
You know, it was just a wonderful thing for me to
Yes.
be able to do, and so I'm glad, I'm excited about it. You know, what I'm saying? No
where's the,
cussing, and it's great.
where's the album going to be available, and when is it going to be
The
available?
album will be available in all the digital stores when it does come out. It's going to be sometime in November,
Okay.
right at the peak of the college season. I think that we're going to put that out.
Now,
And,
did you pitch any of this to any of the black colleges? Like, you know, hey, you know.
This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the campaign in November.
Okay.
Come November, we're going to go back down to Atlanta, And this time, when I do go down, that's going to be my personal mission is to personally
You need
infuse
a camera
it.
person.
Yeah, I may need a camera person
Sometimes
to
I
document
film.
this because we're gonna actually go down to the colleges in November and we're gonna infiltrate them with this.
I've
sound.
never experienced Black College myself.
Yes.
I've never experienced the culture, the energy of
man.
it. So that would be
man.
like I would probably be like,
Oh, it's wonderful.
you know, I know it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's wonderful.
Just to
Spelman
see
just
that.
had a homecoming like about a week ago, and I was there last year, and I seen the homecoming experience from a first-hand perspective. I lived in a neighborhood in Atlanta that's right near Spelman and Morehouse, and where Morris Brown was, and obviously, and all the HBCUs, and it was just an awesome,
amazing,
fantastic experience to see all those beautiful black folks doing what they do, and the way that they have a culture down there, and it's so together, and it's just like a tradition, and man, it's just amazing. If you ever get a chance to go down there and see it, I would recommend you do so.
Hey yo, J-Pad, we're gonna play this joint Wrecking Ball, and then you're gonna hit the stage.
Wrecking Ball, it's
Tell
out there
us
right
about
now.
Wrecking Ball, real quick.
Out there on iTunes and all that stuff right now, man. Wrecking Ball.
That's part of the album as well.
No, it's actually a single by itself. There'll probably be another single that comes out right before One Man Band. It's gonna be called In the Lane, and that's gonna be coming out, like within the next couple of weeks. But Wrecking Ball was the first, just get the word out, get the spit out. It was a creative record for me, and I tried to do something a little different. I shot and edited it, the video. So check it out.
You were blue.
Yeah, it was. I was dark. It was like Belly. If you
Yeah,
ever watched Belly,
yeah.
like I wanted to give you kind of like that vibe.
At the club.
Walking down the street with the girl and
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. This was just me spitting. Showing people that.
Don't want to walk down the street
What I'm
with
saying?
the
This is a
girl?
lyrical dojo, like I was in the dojo. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
in
can
my
walk down
own
the
mind.
street with me, J-Pack.
That's cool.
In
That's
the
all to the
video.
good. Yeah, we can do that.
Down the street.
We strong.
Wrecking Ball, Go Live TV. When we come back, J-Pad will be live on the Stage Presence Podium. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey. I'm having fun.
A little bit, just a little bit. Just turn me down just a little bit. Thank you.
Let's get it.
Yeah. One man band, you already know what it is. J-Pad, the Juggernaut. Whoa. Go! Come on. Let's go! Yeah! Just turn it down just a little bit. Yeah! And now the band gon' play. Now the bass down. Welcome to the show and I begun. Got a new flavor, get your groove on. Tell all your neighbors this is your song. Who left, who right, do that little bitch now. Telling all the front things and I can't even stop now. Baby, shake it for me on the 50-yard line. Drop it lower than before, break your dance spot. Who left, who right, who left, and up now. Say who left, who right, who left, and up now. Say who left, who right, who left, and up now. Say who left, hey, who left, and up now. Cause I'm a one-man band. Come on. One-man band. One-man band. Hey. One-man band. Let's go. One-man band. Hey. One-man band. And I'm big on play. Not a big on play. Not a big on play. Not a big on play. What's up, this one? Nigga, get the hell out of the way. We ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say. You want to bust in no place. You better stay in your space. Nigga, get the hell out of the way. We're gonna do this one time for buddies, you gotta know. Grand City. You gonna go this way. We ain't got nothing to say. Nigga, get the hell out the way. That won't even like Green Bay. You be cheating what they say. I put the paint on my face. I put a bullet on the back. I ain't not winning the race. Like wanna be burning up the track. Premium gas like the Cadillac. You wanna be bringing Cadillac? Pulling your money back Saddlebags. We winning, so give us the money back. You lose, so get no money back. The quarter hands on to the running back. Up the middle, we running this on some death. You get the hand stick. You get the truck stick. You went too slow. I come from below. Double minute third quick. Saying I come with the dumb spit. We do not come with a dumb skit. We bring yourself with a dumb hit. We bring yourself with a dumb hit. Check it out. Hey. One man band, one man band, You want up us in no place. You better stay in your space. We get the hell out the way. 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 Hey.
Yeah.
Y'all already know what it is. I'm gonna do this record ball one time for y'all. Making sure y'all check this out. It's on iTunes, all the digital media outlets. Yeah, you already know what it is. We're gonna play it back and forth with the auto tune real quick, alright? It's like this. Check it out, go when it's set. Check it out, I do my leg. This brother never be set. Fucking keep thinking it's a game. Yo, sit up and trigger with settings. What? Lift it away, bring it check. Yeah, I don't know about fighters. I'm raising them all in the table. I got a chuck on this shit. Miraculous, I got the gift. You cannot handle my ship. How come we roll on the pit? Tell them. You went around, we stay in the round. On the side of the same. Yeah, we said provided the shit. Oh, listen, I give it the ride like a whip. My mind is a shroud in the grip. These lyrics are butter biscuits. The Juggernaut run these shit. Tell them. The dealer ain't got the stick. Tell them. Let's be off the chair on the bitch. Intelligent flex, what we say. Yo. You literally son of me, nigga. You're stealing off of me, nigga. This paper is coming, my nigga. Jack will be dummy, my nigga. I don't give a damn if you big. We play it to say what you did. Back and belly up to pocket lips. You get jelly, got crack on some ribs. We don't step on the floors over there. What? Yeah. Check it. Put the money together and flex. Get the honey together and flex. Record ball, my profess. Record ball, my profess. Yeah. What? Yeah. Set the record on all of you crumbs. The original beat champion. The original beat champion. The original beat champion. Yeah. You already know, J.K.Bey the Juggernaut.
Nice.
Ron C. This is how we get